Hi there, this is Ahmed Mustafa from Brown Dog Realty and
Jeremiah's J-Man Monero, Remax Realty Group.
we are part of the GRAR technology team. And today we're going to show you another fantastic feature that GRAR offers all of its members called Authentisign. Jeremiah, what is Authentisign?
Well, Authentisign, beginning on October 22nd of this year, it became legal in New York State for us as realtors to do e-signing with our buyers and sellers.
So e-signing means we don't have to sit across a table with a pen and wetting a signature. It allows you to do it remotely.
That's correct.
All right, and so this is something that the New York State Bar Association as well as GRAR have approved, and it's available to you to use today. So J-Man, would you show us how this works?
Absolutely.
All right, Jeremiah, would you show us how Authentisign works?
Okay, here I'm on my transaction desk of the doc box, and I'm going to an imaginary transaction that we created earlier. It's 12 Anywhere Street. I'm going to send this to, again, my imaginary seller to sign. Let's say they're out of state, out of the country even, really doesn't matter. What I'm going to do is come into the transaction. I've already created the forms, and I'm going to come over here to the left sidebar where it says Authentisign. I'm going to click that. And it's really going to be easy as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because there's 5 steps.
Perfect. And if you've never done it, there's a way here, there's like a little tutorial, right?
Correct. There's a 5-minute tutorial, but it's really very intuitive if you get in here and just start using it.
All right, let's see.
I'm going to create a new signing. Choose a name for the signing. You know, you could do the property address. Maybe you want to just say listing. And depending on the situation, if you have multiple sellers, maybe you want to do simul-sign. Simul-sign means it will go to both sellers at the same time. This is good if you have a husband and a wife, let's say they're both at work. You don't know which one's going to get to it first. You don't want one to hold up the other one from signing it. So
this makes the process a little more efficient.
Correct.
Yep, fantastic. And sign in line means that you'd have to sign one and then the other would sign and the other would sign.
Yeah, I like to use sign in line in the case where you're working with a buyer and you want it to go to one buyer first, then the second buyer, then it'll come to you as the selling agent. Whoops. It'll come to you as the selling agent, and then you can send it off to the listing agent.
So
you must not, it's very important that you don't do simul-sign if you're going to write an offer, because it will go to all parties in the transaction at the same time. So in essence, the seller will get the offer before your buyer has signed it.
That wouldn't be so good.
No.
No. Okay, so today are we going to show them sign in line or simul-sign?
We're going to do well, we only have one seller, so it really doesn't matter, but let's do simul-sign.
Okay.
Go to our next step. Now, this is where you add your participants that you want to participate in the signing. So, add contacts, John Seller, he's a signer, and it's defaulted that the listing agent is a reviewer, but since this is a listing agreement, there are places where we need to sign. So, his signer, add contacts. Okay?
Okay.
Now let's say John says, wait a minute, I have Jane Seller who needs to be on the contract as well. You can add a new participant at this point.
Oh, okay, good.
Okay, so go to step 3, upload a file. Okay, here we have all the forms that we uploaded earlier. You have your lead paint addendum, exclusive right to sell, your property condition disclosure, even the protect your family from lead in the home pamphlet, which they don't really need to sign, but it's in there.
So can we try filling out one of these documents?
Filling it out or
setting the signature blocks in it?
Yes. Yep. Well, first thing we want to do is add the documents into the transaction. Okay, and if it's a document that our board hasn't defaulted to have a section for buyers or seller signatures, then it'll appear like this.
Okay.
Protect your family from lead in the home, or maybe there isn't a signature required on that form. So if you do have a certain order that you like to put it in as well, like for example, I like to put the exclusive right to sell first, Everything else after, you adjust the order like that.
So how do we use this Authentisign tool in one of these documents?
Well, that'll be our next step. Here, if you had anything else you wanted to add into the transaction, you can upload a file, select from forms, upload by fax, or upload by email.
Okay, maybe we'll show them that another day.
Okay. Here we have your listing agreement.
So on the listing agreement, it's a great example because there's places for initialing as well as for signature. Is there a way for Authentisign to differentiate between a full signature and an initial?
Absolutely. You see here, since it's a board-approved form already, it has the spot where the seller, John Seller, is supposed to initial, already inputted. So, you go page by page, you'll see John Seller is already on the lower left-hand corner where he's supposed to be, and it's also signature block where he should be, as well as signature block for us as the listing agent.
And so there are other blocks where there isn't necessarily a signature block in place. Can we add one?
Yes. Where would you like to add it?
How about that page above the that one? Right, so if you come down a little bit, they're already there. So as you can see then, for GRAR forms that are in the system, the Authentisign program really does prompt with pre-filled or pre-identified boxes as where signatures are required by the listing agent, the seller, or sellers, making this a very, very easy process. After we've got these things done, Jeremiah, how do we save this document? Or what happens next?
Well, you just proceed to the next step.
Okay.
But let's go to our lead paint handout just to show folks how you would add. Maybe you feel that it's best practice to have the seller initial each page to show that they've read through the lead paint. What I like to do is add initials to multiple pages. Click here. Actually, I'm going to click on John Seller first, and then add initial to multiple pages. And it gives you the option here, do you want small, medium, or large initials? What form do you want it on? So we're going to click on Protect Your Family from Lead in your home, and then all 8 pages. Whether you want it at the bottom of the document, where you want it aligned, so I like to, well, it's the seller, so I'll do a line to the left, place at the bottom of the document, and then the seller, John Seller. Add initials.
There it is.
There it is. It's automatically added to each of the 8 pages, so you didn't have to go through and do that yourself.
That's great. So this is quite a user-friendly and easy-to-use tool. So what do we do now?
Next step, just hit the arrow that says next. Pretty easy. Final step, you review everything in the transaction. This is a good section. Let's say you had the seller's personal email address. Now they're at work. They're like, send it to my work email address. It's johnseller@work.com. Let's go through. Okay, it's work.com now. Save participant. Finalize details and send to signers. Thumbs up means you're good to go. And again, finalize and send invitations. And done. You just created your signing for your listing, and the status here.
All right. Well, that's a great tool. Again, this is Ahmed Mustafa and Jeremiah Monero. Thanks for your time.